where we're at right now. So you're looking at hedonism, Aristotelianism, Thomism, Buddhism, and Stoicism. So I'm going to change this question a little bit because I don't want to like give you. Well, I guess I could, as long as I don't answer the question, it should be fine. Hedonism is about living the good life. What's the good life? The good life is whatever makes me happy. So it's a very egoistic point of view, but it's a valid point of view. I mean, who's to say that I shouldn't live for myself? So whatever makes me happy. I guess I will change the question, and I'll change it to this. So now that I know I'm not going to be teaching here anymore, and I also found out I don't get to teach philosophy e-learning next year anymore, which I'm kind of bummed out about because I've been really enjoying myself, and I've been really enjoying teaching you guys. It's so much fun, like reading the writings of like a really intelligent group of people, witty and creative too. It's like, as a teacher, it's just so much more fun than a lot of the reading and marking that I do. So, but anyways, I don't know if you've been noticing this, but I've been like changing course content as I've been going along because I just wanted to make the course kind of fit my own style, and I wanted to improve it. But the question would come up, well, if you're not going to teach this course anymore, why bother? Like, why put in the effort? So maybe I'll use that as the question. Why put in the effort to like create these great videos and to modify course content if I'm not going to be able to teach this course anymore? So the hedonist would say, well, the question is, would doing that make you happy? Does it make you happy to create the course content and to make the videos and stuff? So I don't know. Does it make me happy? I think on a certain level it does. Well, actually, I know on a certain level it does. I feel a sense of satisfaction when I make a lesson that I know is better than what was there, or when I post a video and then I see the views that people are actually watching this thing, and hopefully learning something from it. It does make me happy on that level. Does it make me happy that I'm spending hours on this course? I'm never going to teach it again because, like, in all likelihood, I'll never teach this course again. That thought's actually a pretty sad one. I gotta, to be honest, it's pretty sad thinking that I'm putting in this effort, I'm not going to be able to teach this again. So from a hedonistic point of view, I'm pretty torn on is this my path to the good life to continue working on this course? Aristotle would say definitely keep going, because Aristotle, as you'll remember, is all about fulfilling your essence. So if I'm truly meant to be a teacher, if that is my purpose in life, then in order to live the good life, I have to become as good at teaching as I can possibly become, because that is what fulfilling your purpose is. It's not just like mechanically teaching a class, like just going into the room every day or just going online, going through the motions and awarding credits at the end. It's becoming steadily more effective. And so it would be the opposite to just use the existing course content, because when I get an e-learning course, all this information is there already, it's all set up, and all I have to do is actually click publish. That's really all I have to do is click publish, wait for you guys to do work, and then mark it. But that wouldn't make me a better teacher. So that wouldn't help me to really fulfill my essence. So Aristotle would say that I definitely have to keep doing what I've been doing and creating new course content. And every video that I make makes me a better person. Thomism, which I'm not going to include in the assignment because I just worry it'll be just too easy. So Thomas Aquinas was, of course, a Christian scholar, and so he's going to say, you turn towards God, and God will guide you to whatever the good life is. So it's very similar to Aristotle. And for those of you who've done a little study for any of the activities and looked at Aquinas, it probably came up that he basically took Aristotle and then he made it compatible with Christianity. So instead of your purpose being, I guess, assigned by the universe, your purpose or essence is assigned by God. So in order to figure life out. You just sort of like turn towards God and you pray and meditate and think about it. But I'm not going to include that in the options for the assignment, not because like, you know, I have anything against religion. I'm a spiritual guy, but I feel like there's way too much room for just like a cop-out with that one, so we're going to skip it. We are going to have Buddhism on there though, even though it's a religious one too, but the reason why I've included it is because there's far more, like, I guess you'd say, like philosophy in what the Buddhists would say. So Buddhism is all about achieving a state called nirvana, which I've included a Nirvana music video for you, for those of you who like 90s retro, and I made the point today to my class that it's kind of a humbling thing knowing that the music that I listened to as a teenager is now considered to be retro. It makes me feel nice and old. And in order to achieve nirvana, you have to let go. You have to let go of your desires, because all desire is suffering. And you'll never live the good life if you're suffering. So in order to live the good life, you have to let go of your suffering, which means you have to let go of your desires. So the question, should I continue to make these videos, and should I continue to modify the course content? Well, I think it would be a question of like desire and suffering. Do I feel like it's causing me to suffer? And I guess the answer would be yes, because like I said, with the hedonistic approach, every time when I'm building a lesson, in the back of my mind, I keep thinking like, oh, why am I doing this? Because I'm not going to get to teach this again. And it's keeping me up late at night too, like literally, because I work on course content like in the evenings after the kids go to bed. And so it's leading to suffering, which is going to prevent me from reaching my state of nirvana. So I would have to probably say, yes, get rid of that. But then at the same time, when I start like marking the work that comes in, I mean, some of the lessons that were part of this, and I don't want to be too critical and say that, I'm the world's greatest teacher or whatever, and like everything I do is great and everything other people do is not, but I really do feel like some of the lessons that were designed for the course, like the assignments and stuff, they don't really seem to be very, very interesting. And I know not every assignment that I've given you guys is interesting, but I just feel like if I graded the assignments the way that they've been created, that would cause a lot of suffering too. So I guess the question would be like, maybe, I think it would come down to like just not teaching at all, probably, and just meditating full time. But I guess as a Buddhist, I'd probably have to measure like which creates the most amount of suffering. So maybe I'd have to like, just for a unit or a few lessons, just teach it the way that it is, grade the work the way that it is, and just figure out like which is going to cause me the most amount of suffering. Now, the Stoicism is kind of a neat one, and I'm glad that this unit's going to introduce you to Stoicism, because I remember learning about it at university, and this is like synonymous with the Romans. And the Stoics, they were firm believers in just reason, and they believed in something called right reason, which was almost like, I guess, took the place of God. It was like their religious belief. They almost like worshipped reason, like proper reason. They wouldn't have been moral relativists at all. They would have believed that certain things are just true, and so they almost like worship the truth. So what the Stoic would do is they would say you have to set your emotions aside. And the word Stoic often gets used in like a modern context as like a person who's like emotionless. So if you say that that person has a very stoic expression, it would be like the emotionless type person. There being like no emotion detectable in the way that they were looking. So a Stoic sets their emotions aside and just accepts the world the way that it is. So what would the Stoic do? Well, they would say that it doesn't matter whether like I feel good or bad about making these lessons. All that matters is that this is the way that the world is set up. I've got this job to do, and I should do it the best way that it should be done. So if I know that the course could be better if I modify the content, then I should modify that content. And if it bothers me to do that, then the problem is just simply with me. I'm letting my emotion cloud my reason. And so what I need to do is I need to let go of the emotion and just accept the facts and just carry on. And so the Stoic would say, keep building that course content because that is what makes the most rational sense. The Buddhist would say, figure out if making the course content cause you to suffer more or less than just running the course the way that it was designed, and then make your choice. The Aristotelian would say modify that course content for sure, because that's the only way to achieve your essence. And the hedonism, kind of like the Buddhist, but like in an opposite way. Whereas the Buddhist is like wants to avoid suffering, the hedonist wants to gain pleasure. So the hedonist would just say, well, which of these things causes you the most amount of pleasure, and figure that out and just go with it. So this is going to be the longest video ever, and I guess I'm going to have to like actually assign it in parts because I'm looking at the timer and I'm up over like 25 minutes now. But I don't mind doing that because I think it's important. So that's what I'm going to go with. I don't know if that's the right method. I guess it depends on if I'm a hedonist, an Aristotelian, a Buddhist, a Stoic, or whatever else I am. But anyways, you guys are going to help me out to figure this out. That's what the assignment is. And it's going to be an open debate. So we are going to get back in that clash of ideas from like Unit 1. And I am hoping that by Unit 3, you're comfortable enough with like yourself and with your classmates and with the course in general that you're okay with like clashing with somebody else's ideas. Because remember, it is only through putting ideas to the test that we prove whether they're worth keeping or not. And if we hold on to the ideas that are worth keeping, then our idea set gets stronger and we get stronger. If you want to take it to like the point of civilization, civilization as a whole will improve based on the quality of this debate, which might be a little bit far-fetched, but we'll go with that too. So as always, if you have any questions, please get in touch with emailing me. Thank you very much to Liz for letting me know that I hadn't published like half the content needed for like the most previous lesson before this one. Please do that whenever you detect like a problem. I appreciate that. And like I said, get on that debate and you know, be assertive, be respectful, but also be assertive. And remember that as long as we're like sort of like putting each other's ideas to the test and not like criticizing each other on a personal level, debate is great, and hopefully you'll enjoy it.